Hello. I wasn't sure if I was going to record. I keep seeing flashes of lightning coming through the balcony where I'm sitting. I'm also surrounded by 2 dogs and a cat, so you may hear some animal noises. Yeah, I actually have some stuff written down, but I don't have the paper with me, so I'll see if it will even want to be brought up, the paper. Yeah, so like the last maybe 6 days or so, I actually have not recorded anything. And I feel like since I've started YouTube, I've been recording pretty consistently. And I just have been feeling a lot of different things coming through the collective, at least the collective that I feel connected to, or that will feel connected to this. And yeah, I almost didn't, like I said, record right now. I've been feeling this just heaviness today, and I've been needing to like take a lot of breaks and go in and out of meditation. And when I say have to, I mean like for me that helps to like rebalance myself. So maybe someone here is feeling this too. Yeah, it's just like I run out of steam quickly. It's hard to explain. And so, yeah, I figured there may be others feeling this. And I also have talked to like different friends and family, and it feels like just listening to people walking by, there feels like they're just also feeling it too. I don't feel sick or anything, but I can feel it like intuitively through like the throat area. Like I feel like my throat, like in certain conversations, when I'm talking to certain people, has just been like closing up out of nowhere. But it doesn't feel like, when I started having these, like, if you want to call them messages come through, I've practiced and developed discernment of like, is this mind wholly, or am I like getting a message for someone or for the collective or both? And this kept feeling like a collective message. And like I said, I've been writing things down all week that have been coming through to share. And then I realized like people in my family are getting this like throat, like some people took a head cold. Somebody has bronchitis. Apparently a lot of people are coming up positive for, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube. I don't know like the rules, but the C, whatever. So yeah, I just feel like and I keep hearing this phrase in my head over and over again, viral programming. So I do feel like when we go through these like collective purges, even if a lot of people aren't conscious of that, there's some, just like programming, coding that is being, I'm hearing cellularly detox. I heard it like that, and I don't know why. Cellularly. So, I don't know, maybe someone here is like practicing the way they speak, like maybe enunciating more or trying to say things with more. It could be different for all of you. I heard assertiveness. I heard speech pattern interruption, or pattern recognition, or pattern disruption. So you could be like working through like realigning your neural pathways, and pattern disruption is a good way to work with that. So someone here could be doing that. Some people may be doing affirmations or scripting in their journal. There could be all types of things, but it really feels like, excuse me. Oh, yeah, I just had a release through the throat. If you or someone or a lot of people are experiencing like head colds and just like I said, bronchitis, coughs, throat issues, whatever it is, it does truly feel like a lot of people are experiencing that right now. So I heard throat hole opening, which is like kind of silly. I'm being shown the scene from, yeah, now I'm getting like laughter and the energy already feels lighter. So I was moving my body a little bit before like I said, I wasn't even planning to record. I picked a mantra to listen to. Sometimes I do that. And it was like a live one on YouTube. It might have been, I actually don't even know what it was. Some mantra. And I was just listening with my eyes closed, repeating it. I was trying to have like my hands in mudras and do things, but I have all the animals around me and they were like licking my face. So I was just like, okay, I was like petting them and chanting and like doing small circles with my abdomen and my arms, just like a light movement. And I could like literally feel the energy moving. So like I said, I decided to push record. Anyway, that may be helpful for someone, or maybe someone is doing that here. But the throat hole. So I don't know why I'm being shown this, but in the movie Little Nicky, maybe someone needs some like comic relief, or maybe someone's like thinking about watching something funny or doing something just lighthearted. And if you've seen Little Nicky, it's when Adam Sandler plays Nicky and he comes from hell. He lives in hell and his dad is the devil or whatever they call him. And he comes to earth and he like doesn't eat, so, oh my God, all this lightning is going crazy. And he comes to earth and he basically like meets this guy who becomes his like an aforementioned mentor of earth. Well, actually it's a dog. He meets this dog who talks and he's like teaching him how to eat Popeye's chicken. And he's like staring at it, doesn't know what to do, and he tells him, you gotta bite it and chew it in your mouth and then put your head up and let it slide down your throat hole. So I don't know why I'm seeing that, but yeah, so maybe you're like doing something that feels really new, like you have to relearn. Oh, hey. Whoa. So these dogs play all the time like this, but I've never seen him one of the dogs get that aggressive with her ever. And I've spent quite a good amount of time with these pups. Hey, what's up? Hold on, you won't feel this. I'm going to pause. Yeah, very odd behavior. So I was going to record earlier today a few times, and even though my energy levels were a little off, and I noticed the dogs, like I said, I've spent time with these dogs before. They're not my dogs. I'm watching them. And they're usually like not very vocal, like, they don't bark much. And they've been barking so much today. And I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to record. It's going to be like just really hard to hear. And then they seemed a lot more chill. And then all of a sudden that happened. So let me see. I feel like that's something. And the cat just came up now, wanting some love. Okay, so this is so funny. The little dog was chewing this really big bully stick. I actually intended to give it to the big dog the other day. There's a big dog and a little dog, and the big dog didn't seem interested, and the little girl dog has been like really into this bully stick for like a day and a half, and all of a sudden the big dog just like decided he wanted it and like took it from her and like ran away from us and went in his own little corner. So yeah, there could be something like given to you that I don't know. I'm kind of getting like something can be given to you that someone seemed like they didn't want, and then like all of a sudden you're like using it and they take it back. This can be like literal or metaphorical or energetic or something, but yeah, there could be something like that, which seems like a little bit petty and not, I feel like I don't usually pick up on that energy, but that's what I'm picking up on. So there could be something like that. I don't mean to label it as petty, but it just seems a little, it reminds me of like someone in kindergarten, like they haven't learned how to, I was talking about the throat. So like, yeah, maybe there's like, you might just start noticing these like little irritants or irritations, of maybe things like that happening. It doesn't have to be that example, but, exactly, but something like that. yeah, because today I found myself getting like mildly irritated at things that don't normally irritate me. And also I was feeling like bouts of, excuse me, I don't even want to label it as anger, because it didn't feel like straight like anger, but I was feeling this like, yeah, I think it was just more like irritation, agitation. So one of the things I remember writing down in my notes was about like the masculine polarity. And so that collective, now I don't necessarily mean a man or like identifying as man, but the masculine polarity. And there's a million things online. If you're not familiar, you can look it up. Is going through some sort of, it's funny I said throat hole opening. So yeah, I feel like there's some activation through the masculine polarity in the throat. Now, that's not to say that the feminine polarity is not also receiving that, but right now I'm focused on, for some reason, the masculine polarity. So when I say that, what I mean is, hold on, I'm feeling a lot of things. It's funny. Okay, my whole left hand just started lighting up. So I will get messages through my fingers. Like each finger represents for me and a lot of people an element. And it was like all of them were lighting up. And the left hand to me is the feminine polarity. So yeah, it's like the feminine aspect is like feeling this really deeply. So if you're not, super tuned in all the time, you may like miss that it's actually maybe not yours. You may be feeling this collectively. And this like masculine polarity throat opening, I don't want to say an opening because that implies that it was closed. I think there's just this next level of access that is coming online. And I was laying in the sun today and I kept hearing the Aqualine sun codes, which I believe I did a transmission maybe like a week or two ago, labeled that. So maybe someone here is like drawn to that, but yeah, so there could be some codes coming in that, or they've been coming in and they're, I like to call it like hatching. They're starting to hatch. I'm actually seeing both. And I do keep hearing the word portal. So someone here could be like working with that terminology, like utilizing the phrases like quantum, portal, quantum leaping, quantum jumping, intercrystalline technology. So if you haven't gotten to that phrase yet, I'm hearing like that is on the horizon. So stay tuned. I think I explained in a different video or audio that crystalline frequencies or the crystalline plasma body. Yeah, I think I've talked about this. It's like the undertones or like the undercurrent streams of my transmissions, if you will. You can say are simply like embedded with this stream of consciousness through the crystalline consciousness. So it's taken me a long time to be able to say that without like cringing. And I know that sounds a little bit strange, but I'm just being fully honest. I've been having a lot of experiences around this sort of thing for a long time, and talking about it sometimes can honestly feel a bit, like fantasy or, all these different words. So maybe someone here is also going through something like this, because it's different when we're like sitting in meditation or, sitting and staring at the moon or just having a dream versus like getting up and, speaking these truths that we feel within. And it's another layer that I'm seeing is like, because there are so many more people are talking about these things, which is amazing. Like that to me is so cool, but there's also a lot of, just like distortions that can come with that. And And I suppose this is coming up because of that. I'm giggling because it's so funny. Throat hole opening. I just would never expect to say that. I feel like I was not like shown that before, because I would have never like written that down and said that. I just like had to come out of my own throat hole. So there could be something with that too. Like maybe you're preparing for something, or you've been like really preparing for something. And then when you show up to actually do it, you might be like, okay, I'm glad I prepared, but like there's actually something else that's wanting to show up for you that you just couldn't quite prepare for, because maybe you would have been like, I'm not doing that, you know, or that's not right, or whatever it is. So I'm hearing to trust your instincts. Like, you know, I'm not saying to like not prepare. I'm just saying that there's an instinctual, intuitive, like, I keep hearing the word layer that is taking precedence right now. Let's see. There was something else. Oh, okay, the dog dropped the bone, and I heard in my head, like, drop the ball. So maybe someone here feels like they dropped the ball on something. I don't usually say that phrase. I feel like my mom says that phrase. Drop the ball. I just looked up and noticed there's a peace sign above my head made out of twigs or sticks or some sort of, like, something that looks like that. Yeah, and I was talking about earlier, like, bringing back my energy to like a peaceful state. Excuse me. I don't know if I said the word peace, but balance, maybe I said. So yeah, maybe someone here is being called, even if you feel like you dropped the ball on something. I'm hearing the song in my head, Don't Worry, Be Happy. So I'm not saying to like ignore that. What I'm saying is like, yeah, I'm hearing like practice round. So just, you know, focus forward. If you need to review on anything that you feel like maybe you missed, or something that will help you like maybe show up better the next time, whatever the scenario is. I'm not getting anything specific. It kind of feels like maybe you're just being hard on yourself, and there actually is like something. I'm hearing like something being prepared that you maybe are just not aware of yet. Yeah. So like maybe, you know, give yourself a little pity party if that would make you feel better. But, and this might only be for a few people, you know, sometimes we need to sit in that pity a little bit, and then, yeah, just keep hearing like focus forward, looking forward, and working on like your trust within yourself and stuff. And again, those subconscious programs are coming up and like reprogramming. So maybe someone's really working with that here. Or maybe you're being called to. If you're not, you know, each of you may be at different spaces, or if you have been doing that for like, I'm hearing someone say like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm hearing like, good, like that's good. You know, sometimes we need to let things, you know, it's like cooking, like marinating, or a time to, you know, when you bake a cake, you have to let it rest when it's done, or, you know, bread needs to rise. So I'm hearing to just like be honest with where you're at in your own cycle, and, you know, give yourself that grace wherever that is, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see what else. Wow, this has been going for 18 minutes. I saw 18:37 on the timer. I don't know if that's relevant for anyone. Sorry if the papers are making noises. I just wanted to grab them to see. My ears just started to feel a little, almost like when you're going in a plane and they start to like pop a little bit. And now I'm feeling like pressure on my left temple. And I just got like very thirsty. So maybe someone here has been like really needing to hydrate a lot, like feeling like really hydrated. Oh, I meant to say not. So yeah, maybe someone's feeling, that's wonderful if you're feeling really hydrated, but maybe someone isn't, because I was feeling very thirsty. I was hearing these high-pitched frequencies in my left ear. I think it was yesterday, which isn't uncommon. I hear different frequencies often, but these felt different than I've ever heard before. They were coming in differently, and they were like sitting differently, like in my, it's hard to explain. Like in my field, sometimes I'll hear things like reverberate, and it was like, yeah, it was like being received, and it sounded differently than normally, than I've heard before. So depending again where you're at in your own evolutionary, unfolding, someone here may be hearing tones for the first time, or if you've already been, you may be hearing them differently, like I'm experiencing. So I just heard in my head like the bat signal. Oh, okay. I'm being shown. That's so funny. I watched this like short or something the other day from Ferngully. I like forgot that movie existed. I don't remember why it came up, but you know, the late Robin Williams, who I thought was so wonderful. He played Batty in Ferngully. I feel like it wasn't that popular of a movie when I was a kid, but like I loved Ferngully. So if anyone here watched it, like feel free to comment, because yeah. You know, it's about fairies, if you're not familiar, and they live in this forest, and then there's like this toxic sludge that starts to be like polluted into it's basically like deforestation, you know, and humans come and like leave their trash and act like assholes basically, and ruin the forest. Anyway, the fairy has Batty as a friend, and he talks about like these experiments that were done on him it's crazy. You can Google it. It's like, I like didn't even realize that. He does this rap. I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I was talking about hearing, like, you know, clairaudience expansion, and then I'm hearing echo. I'm like stuttering. It's funny. Now I'm hearing echolocation. So that could be relevant for someone. Now I heard sonar. Yeah. So the way you perceive sound may start to change. And if you've already been having changes, like I said, there may be like the next layer or phase that's starting to show itself. And I'm hearing a joke, like you would think I'm used to this by now. So yeah, maybe someone's like going through one of their next level ups, if you will. And I don't mean that as like you're better than anyone. It's just as we expand our consciousness, like all of us in these circles talk about, yeah, we go to these next phases, if you will. And so this rap from Batty and Batty, I believe it is, from Ferngully. Like I said, he talks about these like experiments that humans did on him, and I don't know why this feels so relevant, but like I know a lot of people have been talking about, I feel like Atlantis is coming back up, and some of these like experiments. I just saw someone on, I think it was Instagram. She does grid work. I'm not going to say her name right now, but if you're interested, you can like message me or comment and I can tell you who it is. I don't know why. Normally I say names, but I'm just being guided not to, so I'm not going to. She is doing like a grid work mission, she calls them, whatever. And I think she was talking about clearing, I think she said World War II. I'm hearing a pause, so I'm just pausing. Feel free to like take a breath if that feels good to you. World War II. Oh, and Atlantean experimentation on humans and animals. There's a lot of talk about that, and I've had some, you know, of my own experiences with research and dreams, astral experiences, meditation around these topics. I'm not going to go like fully into that right now, but maybe in the future, or if I do an extended on YouTube, on Patreon, maybe I'll go deeper with that. Yeah. So I'm seeing a centaur for some reason, and I think it's a centaur. It's when it's a half human on the top, and then the body is like a horse. And I've had a dream or two with centaurs in them. So the excuse me, there's a constellation. I know I'm like all over the place, so if you're still with me, yeah, just take what feels good to you and you can let the rest go. Anyway, so there's, I think it's Centaurian. There's a Centaurian constellation. So someone here might feel connected to that constellation. I, for some reason, can't remember the name of it right now. If anyone wants to look that up or knows, like, feel free to comment. But I am seeing that star system, and now I'm hearing Pegasus. And I've been seeing unicorns come up as well. So Sirius C may be relevant. Yeah, now I'm hearing in my head the crystalline codes. And now I'm hearing decoding. So those of us who are drawn to these topics, like I said, our, you know, I heard a joke again. I'm hearing a lot of jokes, although they're not like that funny, but spidey senses, like our, you know, spidey senses are like shifting and expanding, and, you know, they're integrating. Like, I don't feel as, you know, it's funny, when I was meditating earlier, I've been getting like the last few days, like, it's hard to explain. I'll just have these memories, like laser focus in my mind, like from all different periods of my life. I mean, that kind of happens often, but like, I feel like there's been a very heavy emphasis on that the last couple of days. It's just like all of a sudden it will just take me to this, like, it's not necessarily visual. It's just like, I feel like I'm just remembering it so clearly. And there's been these different, I just heard in my head the word escapades. I don't know if that's even a word right now, but that could be for someone. But yeah, so I have been like laser focusing on these different memories, you know, throughout my life, just throughout my experiences. And one of them was when I was getting attuned to Reiki, maybe like, I don't know, I think that was in 2018. And I remember like one of the first times that I had like a conscious experience of staring at, I was staring at someone on the Reiki table and I was seeing like all of these different colors and like imprints of the vessel, but like leaving the body, but in different color. And these things now, I see them constantly, but it was, and I'd already been experiencing it, but it's hard to explain, but it was just like, it was so clear. Like, I couldn't like call myself delusional, like I was like staring at this and it was happening. And I just remember then I heard something. It was like a lot of my clairs at once were like clicking in that moment. And anyway, at that time I was very focused on like learning about those things and the technical terms. And I was just very excited. And so yeah, there's something about that. Maybe someone here is going through that, or someone here is like maybe reminiscing like I am about these different things. And now how it's so integrated within me that I don't even think anymore. Like, it doesn't feel separate from me. It's like before it was like, oh, my clear audience is kicking in. Oh, there you go. Hear that bark? I'm trying to pause, but my phone is being stubborn. 1 second, please. And now, like I was saying, it's just when I have messages come through or just living my daily life, it's all just sort of like more, integrated and cohesive. So yeah, I'm not even sure why I'm bringing this up, but I just noticed there's a money tree right in front of me. Wow, it looks pretty big now that I'm looking at it. And before I listened to this, I think the mantra I was mentioning in the beginning was actually a money mantra. So maybe someone here is focusing on money right now and expanding their money. I'm hearing money mindset beliefs, money mindset programming. I'm hearing like all these different phrases around that topic. So let me see what the message is there. Okay, I'm hearing the song from Madonna, Holiday, Celebrate, if we took a holiday. So maybe someone here is really like saving up for a vacation or wants to travel more. It doesn't have to be that, or just to like have fun, or, if it's not like literal, it could just be like wanting to feel not guilty when you spend money, or like wanting to use your money and like enjoy yourself while you're spending it. I was just having a conversation with my friend. Now I'm seeing the Four of Pentacles in Tarot. I was just having a conversation with my friend about this. How, when you sometimes start to put your focus on something, the people around you that you're used to in your everyday life might stand out more. Like you might notice some of the like recurring patterns. I'm hearing like the word looping. Like you might see the loops people are on. And you know, now I'm seeing like Kuan Yin, and I'm hearing like now's the time when those things start to happen, to really try your best to hold compassion, because you know, it's wonderful that you want to take these steps and do these things. And, you know, if you're listening to this, then you're most likely someone who is either interested in this or already doing it, or is already like, you know, in self-mastery themselves in some way or getting there. And so, yeah, I know there's a lot of talk about people being lower vibrational and, you know, people being sheep and all that stuff. And I get it. But remember, even if you were born, like some people say they're born, you know, wide open from the veil, we still, I believe, as a human going through this world, you pick up programming. I mean, especially if you're super empathic and you're just kind of collecting things along the way. That's why having like practices to, you know, discern and cleanse and clear and all those things can be helpful. Anyway, that's a side note. But yeah, it's kind of like, I like to think of it as respecting people's own timing, you know, like I'm someone who likes to like get things myself, you know, like I like to figure things out. Like if someone just comes up and tells me something, I can be appreciative, but it's not the same always as like, you know, when you, sometimes it's not even received, you know. And I'm not saying not to, like, if someone asks you something, like, please, by all means. I'm just saying there's like a, like, I know how exciting it can be when you're like learning all these new things and you're, you know, trying, and then you like notice the people around you just kind of like stuck on that same loop, and you're just like, ugh. Like I keep noticing that myself. I mean, this has been years, but what I'm saying is like the last couple of days, and now I know why, because it's coming up in this reading. I've been hearing the movie Groundhog Day, like when they have the same day like over and over again. So someone here might feel that right now, like, oh my God, my life is Groundhog Day, and like I just want to like punch a wall to make it stop. So that's where that irritation might be coming up. And I'm not like laughing at you. I'm just laughing at like, I know that feeling very well. Yeah, so just I'm here and take a breath and, you know, just keep doing what you're doing in terms of like setting your intentions and working through things, practicing patience. I know people hate hearing that, but yeah, these things, they're, you know, I see a lot of people out there saying like, you know, do these 3 steps and change your life. Like that could happen. You know, like I'm not saying it can't happen, but really just like showing up and not giving up and persevering even when you feel like you want to give up, you know, making micro changes has really at least helped me. And like, it's okay to like, oh, that's right. In the beginning, I said like, drop the ball. It's okay if you know, slide back a little bit or make, you know, get back on the loop yourself. And then that's what pattern disruption is for. That was coming up earlier. And there's so much free material out there. If that's something you're looking for. And if, you know, you have any specific questions, like feel free to comment and I can maybe provide some resources. But yeah, that's only like if someone is asking. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so what I wrote down the other day, yeah, this is like a throat release, throat hole opening. Again, when I say opening, oh, I just saw like what plant is that? I'm seeing a specific plant. I don't know if it's a Venus flytrap. It's if it's not an exact Venus flytrap, it's like the same idea as a Venus flytrap, where it's like closed and all of a sudden it just like opens and then closes again and then opens. So that could be relevant for someone. I've been seeing 7s a lot, so maybe some here seeing repeating 7s. Rainbows, these are just some like things you may be seeing. Oh, I've been finding a feather like almost every day. And what the dog that I'm walking, he like keeps leading me to these feathers. I find them not with him as well, but I've been finding a lot of feathers. I'm hearing angelic lineages. So I was having this experience the other day of another aspect of understanding. If you've ever read my bio, I talk about the original angelic human, or the original angelic blueprint, because it's not just, the humans, of course, but that is something that I just happen to be very passionate about. It just comes through my own channel, my dreams, my meditations, the research that I'm guided to dive into. And so maybe someone here is getting into that understanding. I'll probably go deeper with that in the extended, or I call it overflow on Patreon. But the angelic lineage I'm hearing. So, and I don't necessarily mean like, angels in the everyday context of angels, although that could be relevant for someone here. What I'm more meaning is the crystalline consciousness, integrated awakened DNA that restores the original human blueprint. So if you're interested in that, or if you're someone who's already like attuned to that and wants to like go deeper, then I'm doing my best to talk about that more. But there's one of the lineages that come through in Asha and Adine's work, the Ceres, I believe it's announced. I meant to say pronounced. Maybe someone here is like waiting for an announcement, or they're about to be announced, because I did not mean to say that word. And the Ceres are one of the avian, I believe, angelic race lines. So I believe. So I'll have to double check that. But I've been hearing that for days. Maybe someone here feels connected to the avians too, like blue avian. So you can be awakening a part of your DNA memory through these avian lineages. Let's see what else is coming up. Oh yeah, Mintanka was coming through. Malachite. Earlier I was meditating outside and I saw this. So each place I go, it's kind of cool. Like, speaking of grid work, when I'll have like a new, I don't know if you want to call it like color frequency come online. And when I say new, I just mean like new to my eyes. I'm sure it's, anyway, one of these colors came in and it literally looked like liquid malachite. It was so cool. And for some reason, I always connect the Archangel Uriel, which I believe the etymology, it translates to light of God. I'm not positive. I have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure. Let me pause and check. God is my light. Light of God. I had it backwards. Or flame of God. When I use the word God, by the way, I don't necessarily mean it in the terms that it may be used. I'm just like using it to translate the etymology of the word. And so, so any of those could be relevant. And also the color red I always associate with Uriel. So it was like this like liquid malachite, and this color green has been coming up for me whenever I think of Mintanka. So if you're not familiar with Mintanka, it's an alleged civilization in the Orion constellation that has been destroyed. And it was like said to be like a water-based, essentially like a paradise planet. And I just always felt really connected to that for some reason. And I've had some meditations and visions and dreams about it. And I always, and not just me, anyone who feels connected to it, it's like these like crystal green waters. And whenever I drink, I'm trying to get a word, and I keep hearing the word alkaline. So maybe someone here is working on their alkalinity in their body. But chlorophyll, when I drink chlorophyll, there's like this sounds so funny, but there's like this specific amount. It's like the most trace amount of chlorophyll. If I put it in water, it forms this like beautiful like sea green. Like if you go to like a very green sea, like there's like certain spots in Miami that have like really crystal green waters, or like, you know, and I don't know, maybe the Maldives, like it's like a specific green I'm talking about. I don't know why that's coming through. Rebecca Campbell, there's a card in her, it might be, which deck is it? It might be Work Your Light Oracle. So someone here might have that deck or being called to work with it. And it was like one of my first decks. I don't have it anymore. And it was like the original light worker missing home, the Seas, S-E-A-S, of Mintanka. And it had these like crystal green waters. And I don't know why, but that's coming through like so strongly for right now. So someone might be feeling connected to that. Maybe feeling like you need to go to the sea, or at least just like daydream about the sea. But yeah, so this like malachite green color, it's like liquid malachite. It was just like swirling all around me, and it was just so like, I don't know what word to use. And my eyes were open, so I'll see this with my eyes open. And there were other colors around, but I'm only being guided to talk about that one for some reason. It almost looks like when I try to describe it, because I do call it crystalline liquid light now. Like I've had different names for it as I learn different things, but the best way I can describe it is like, I just heard someone say like, well, what are you talking about? What does it look like? I don't know, maybe someone asked that, or maybe someone's thinking that. Like a lava lamp. If you remember lava lamps, when you like shake up the water and like the colors are swirling, and then there's like the bubbles that are like orbs that represent orbs. It's kind of like a liquid lava lamp. I see. Okay. There's other things too, but that's what I'm talking about right now. What else did I write down? Oh, Shambhala. I'm hearing like alleged, and I'm using air quotes, inner earth frequencies maybe coming through for you. Yeah, I was already talking about like the fairy realms and Ferngully. I just started picking up trash. So maybe someone here like wants to pick up trash, or like orchestrate some sort of picking up trash event. And this is probably for like one or two people, but you know, like sometimes when I'm walking and I pick up trash just in my everyday life, like if you feel like you're doing that and it's like not enough, I'm hearing like to be nicer to yourself, and that's like thank you. I don't know, that could be just for one or two people. I heard in my head matcha, so maybe someone here is like drinking matcha or like wanting to drink matcha. What did I write down? Oh, I was cloud scrying the other day, and I saw LAX. I know that's like the airport in LA. So maybe someone here is like going to be flying in or out of LAX soon, or lives in LA. Those just initials can be for someone. I also saw at the same time NM. Oh no, maybe this was a meditation. Sorry, I have a couple things written down, and one of them was cloud scrying. One of them was when I was meditating with my eyes closed. The other one, so I saw LAX, then I saw NM, New Mexico. So maybe someone here is visiting New Mexico, lives in New Mexico, researching New Mexico, something about New Mexico. And then I saw E5. I don't know why. Is that like, I can't think right now. Is that like a bingo thing, or maybe like a plane ticket number? I don't know. I just saw like E5. I saw LAX, NM, and then E5. To me, it sounds like a flight route. It's like, I don't know. It's like so specific, but you know, it could just again be initials or whatever, you know, take it how it might fit for you. Now that I'm like looking at it all, yeah. Okay, what's next? Okay, I was seeing the number 7070, and I looked it up, and there was a picture of Frida. I can never remember her last name. She's an artist, like Hellllo, Frida Kahlo. My apologies if I'm butchering that. I was seeing her face pop up. I'm talking like nonstop for like off and on for months. And then I honestly kind of forgot about it. And then when I saw the 70/70 message the other day and her face popped up, it was talking all about like creative expression and utilizing your artistic endeavors to its fullest potential, and for potential like forms of income stream. So that could be relevant for someone. And there could also just be like something that you've been seeing signs of for so long, and then all of a sudden it like becomes clear and you're like, oh. Like an aha moment. Okay, so there was a spider outside of one of the places I've been staying, and I'd never seen a spider that looked like this before. It was like a spiky spider. You might be like super familiar with them, but I was not. And its web was it was just getting bigger and bigger, and I'm very short. I'm like 5'1.25" or a half, and I had to like duck out of the doorway because it was getting that big. And so as I'm like ducking out, eventually my friend came back who I'm staying with, and she was like, this web has got to go. Like, what is this spider web? And I was like, oh. Like in my head, I was like, don't hurt the spider. But I guess she took the web down, and then it was like back up, I swear, like an hour later, like still, it was like so big again. And I was like, oh my God, this spider is crazy. So I looked up the spider, and it was called an orb spider, which is so funny because I just mentioned orbs, and I forgot that I wrote this down. So someone here may be seeing orbs. I'm seeing someone driving. I remember when this first started happening, I was seeing orbs while I was driving, and I was like, this is so cool, but like I'm driving, you know, like I had to, or it could also be like light codes. You might be seeing light codes, like while you're driving, or like doing, I heard a joke, like operating heavy machinery. I don't know if someone here is operating heavy machinery, then that could apply to you. But yeah, like, you know, when people say like don't do certain things while operating heavy machinery, it like says it on all like cough medicine or sleep medicine. Oh, maybe someone here is like taking that kind of medicine because I like forgot about that. Okay, so orb spiders. Yeah, so you may be seeing orbs. And I looked up the meaning, like the spiritual meaning of the orb spider, and I honestly, what did I write? I don't remember what it said, but if anyone here wants to look it up and share, that would be really helpful. Thank you. So orb spider, it said that they were harmless, but they were known for making like really big webs. And I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. This web is like ginormous. And that it bothers people, which is funny because my friend who I'm staying with was like very annoyed by the spider, and I was just like staring at it like I was tripping on mushrooms. I wasn't, but I was just like, look at this spider. And it's funny because it was like pretty small, like it wasn't very big, but it weaves this like huge web. So in addition to that, spiders could be relevant. Oh my God, I'm hearing tarantula squid. I was being guided to rewatch The Good Place. I don't know why. Sometimes I just rewatch that show, and they talk about tarantula squids. It's like a allegedly made up being that comes throughout the show. And yeah, so like squids, or I've also been seeing the word tarantula a lot. So tarantulas could be relevant. Yeah, New Mexico did come up. I'm sure they have tarantulas in New Mexico. I'm not sure, but it sounds plausible. Oh, okay, so I see this spider being for years off and on now. I think I've talked about it before. And it's always like a certain size. Then when I see it, it's usually, I mostly see that being in my hypnagogic state. So like right in between sleeping and waking, like when I just open my eyes, I'll see it. It used to come to me when my eyes were closed. It's come to me when my eyes are open also, but it mainly comes to me in that space. And I say it, sometimes it's usually one, but I've seen multiple. And I don't usually talk about this because the few people that I have told this told me I was like hallucinating and delusional. But you know, if you're listening to this, you're most likely into the stuff. And if you're not, then, well, you're choosing to listen. So I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, so this has been, in the beginning when I first started seeing this, I was honestly like kind of freaked out, and I knew that there was like programming in my body that I had to work through the fear. It's interesting. You may be going through that, like part of you is scared, and I've talked about this in other videos too. Part of you is scared, and then like other parts of you are not scared. So yeah, just having patience and working through these things. You know, being scared is very natural, and sometimes it protects us, you know, and I just really try to like remind myself of that when I feel that. Anyway, excuse me, for a while this the spider being would work with me, like it would like literally be so close to my face, and of course it's like it's not physical, so it's in another realm, but it looks so real, you know, and it would like come so close to my face, and I would just be like, you have to come this close to my face, like can you back up a little bit? And it would just stay there like, well, nope, we're working through this. So anyway, eventually it did back up, and you know, I watch it like it goes around the room, and it's weaving its web, etc. Anyway, so fast forward, the other day I woke up in the middle of the night to pee or something, and I hadn't seen it in a while, and I saw it, and it was bigger than ever. It was so big, and I was like, whoa, hi, it's been a while. And I usually watch it like it comes in like a circle, like it's a circle. That sounds so simple. It's not just a circle, and like it will unfold itself. And I just saw it, and it was so much bigger. So I wrote down like so much about this, you know, whatever you've been weaving behind the scenes. I think in the beginning I talked about something coming that you haven't quite seen yet, like, you know, something in the subtle realms that's been weaving for a long time. So you may be, like, again, going into that like next phase of consciousness, like that next, one of the last readings I did, I talked about a door closing. Now I'm hearing an ambulance. Sending love to the ambulance. But I actually wrote down on this page, now that I think about it, 911, because I kept seeing 911 everywhere and hearing ambulances, like seeing the numbers, 911, 911, 911. What did I write down? Oh, I put air quotes. No, you can't put air quotes. I put quotes. And I wrote manifesting. Oh, information faster. Okay, so someone here may be realizing, like, when you ask a question or you're curious about something, like the information is coming in faster, whether it's like, you know, just through your own knowing. A book might show up that has that answer. Someone may be walking by you and like respond to whatever it is you were curious about. Like I'm just hearing, I remember when that started happening to me, I was like so excited. So someone here may be having that experience where like your thoughts, your inquiries, your questions to certain things are just like, things are showing up for you so much quicker. That's what I was getting from the 911 actually, which I wasn't expecting. Usually a lot of people I hear that channel different things or whatever you want to call it, say that goes, oh my God, my throat is like closing up all of a sudden. Yeah. I feel like I've been having so many interruptions and like so many reasons I could be like, oh, I'm going to stop. Like I said, for days now. So yeah, someone here may be having that experience as well. And I'm hearing you'll know like when it's time to take a break or if it's, you know, time to like persevere and push through. If that's something that you feel called to do. Like this reading right now, I still feel called to keep going, but like my throat is like literally closing up. This came up the other day, the head and the heart. I looked up something, and for some reason I can't remember what it was. And it was talking about the head and the heart. And I think it was like some kind of, the monkey mind. I said the phrase monkey mind today, and I knew I looked this up years ago. I'm hearing in my head Frederick Nietzsche. I'm saying that, I'm butchering that right now. Who I believe is a philosopher, so that could be relevant for someone. Monkey mind, and the original translation, I believe it was a Buddhist, if I'm not mistaken, concept. It meant, like, I think it literally translated like monkey heart mind. I had it written down and now the term monkey mind originated in Chinese folklore and Buddhist teachings as a way to describe a state of mental restlessness, capriciousness, and lack of control. The term comes from the Chinese word that I cannot pronounce, or the Sino Japanese word SHIN', which literally translates to heart, mind, monkey. I think that is what I said. Yeah, so that could be relevant for someone. And I was saying how I felt bad because monkeys are actually very intelligent, so I don't know. But yeah, someone here could be like experiencing that phrase, like the monkey mind, like being just very active. I know the last few days it's been actually quite hard for me to, normally I can like tune into meditation and, you know, just bliss in a bit. And it's been like pretty hard for me the last few days. Like I've been just, my mind has been on overdrive. So I'm doing my best to balance that. So maybe, you know, I feel like it might be a collective thing. It might be a little bit hard to, I'm hearing a joke, like I'm hearing a lot of these like funny little jokes, like the ethers are real busy right now. Like there's a lot of traffic. So that could be going on right now. Let's see what else. I have other things written down, but oh yes, Kali Ma, Durga Ma, and there's a third aspect to that archetype. It begins with an R, and I can't remember it at the moment. You know, destruction, rebirth. I was feeling that energy so strongly the other day. I was meditating, and I just kept hearing it over and over again, like Kali Ma, Durga Ma, Kali Ma, Durga Ma. So that could be relevant for someone here. Yeah, I'm hearing don't be afraid of the crumble. I mean, you can be if you want, of course, but there's probably something that's crumbling. I had this very detailed dream the other day, and like I was saying, my great-grandmother who left the earth plane, I don't remember how old I was. Maybe I was like, I want to say I was under 10. She came in my dream, and there was like a whole, you know, specific message to me that maybe I'll share that could be for others in the overflow on Patreon. But yeah, maybe someone here is connecting with passed down loved ones, ancestors, because that's just what I'm feeling. I'm hearing someone like talk to themselves, kind of like, do I have mediumship abilities? Am I a medium? Yes, I'm a medium. I don't know. What's a medium? How can I be, like, I'm just hearing all these questions about mediumship. So, if that's you, yeah, just, yeah, I'm feeling really overwhelmed. So maybe just start with where you're at. I'm hearing, like, literally start with, you know, where you're at. And what I mean by that is like whatever experiences you've had thus far that bring you to that question, like sit with them, you know, do a little research if that is what you feel called to do, or meditate on those already experiential things that are roaming around in your mind. And then I'm hearing the next step will appear. I've been thinking for a long time, I want to do some sort of like, I'm not really sure what yet, like a version of like a mentorship and putting out maybe workshops or just different techniques that I've researched and that have helped me with these different experiences, like scrying or divination, mediumship, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, if that's something anyone's interested in, please feel free to comment. Okay, so let's see what else. Ancestors, great-grandparents. I'm hearing names like Rona, Rhonda. My great-grandmother's name was Rhoda, the one that came through. So like any of those initials, like RHODA. Now the Essenes are coming through, and the Israelites, maybe someone here feels connected to that, whether, as a, like another lifetime connection, or maybe like your bloodline may be connected. That's just coming through. Yeah, now I'm hearing like King David. There could be a lineage or, a like more, I'm hearing the phrase like spiritual heritage connection to that. Oh my, I'm getting so tired all of a sudden. Yeah, and I just heard the phrase running out of steam. So maybe someone here like really needs a nap or like a really good night's rest. All right, I think I'm gonna actually close it here, and I will do like I said, an overflow on Patreon. Not exactly sure what's gonna come through. I'll probably just go a little bit deeper in some of the topics that came through today, and I just heard bergamot in my head, so maybe someone's working with that scent, bergamot, in some way. Essential oil, a candle, just looking up the spiritual meaning of bergamot. I think you can do that. I'm just seeing if there's anything else. Yeah, just take care of yourself. Maybe some extra kindness or something that will make you feel like really safe right now and protected. It definitely feels like there's just, so much. I haven't really tuned into like the mainstream collective too much lately, but my mom and my sister were talking about some things, and it just feels like there's so much like hate and fear going on right now, so so just whatever you have to do for yourself to feel just, I'm hearing like slivers of peace, regulating your nervous system. I'm hearing adrenal fatigue, things like this. I'm just like hearing a lot of different things. I'm hearing Ganesh, so that could be for someone. Oh, symbology. Maybe someone here is really starting to dive into symbology, like just really like looking at the layers of things. I remember in the beginning I was really talking about like layers. So yeah, like really diving through the layers. Now I just heard internal monologue. Right, so that kind of goes along with the subconscious reprogramming. So maybe just being more aware of your internal monologue and, I'm hearing the word dialect. I know that's not completely relevant, but maybe someone here, again, I was talking about that earlier, like working on your speech pattern. I don't know if someone here is like about to make a speech or something. Good luck with that. You'll be great, I'm sure. Yeah, I just heard in my head Toastmasters. My brother-in-law was a part of Toastmasters. Yeah, so maybe someone here is like thinking about like getting out of their fear of public speaking and joining like some sort of speech or debate or something like that. Or maybe that's something you've done in the past and that's just like a confirmation. Okay, I was just drawn to something on the wall says fall 2023. So right now, when I'm recording this, it's July 2024, so something significant could have happened in the fall of 2023, and or something may like be coming up for you that's very important in this coming fall 2024. There was also something that felt significant. Let me just take a pause. I just saw like a blue light, a blue orb flash, and I heard hieroglyphs. Now my nose is itching. Oh, I think I said earlier, inner crystalline technology. So someone here could be actively working with their Merkaba or their light body, vehicle of light. Maybe you feel like you're traveling in your sleep to like Egyptian timelines or something. Because the Hathors have been coming up a lot too. You maybe feel connected to the Hathors or Hathor. She's usually represented, the deity, by a cow. And I always think of breast milk for some reason, or some sort of milk. So milk could be significant. And they're also the Hathors are allegedly very connected to sound healing, sound temples, sacred geometry. Yeah, because I was talking about symbology, so. Yeah, now I'm seeing like, the alchemical symbol for gold. And I'm seeing the sun. Number 19, the sun card in tarot. Yeah, so maybe now I'm hearing Horus. So maybe someone here is like really starting to see, hear, speak, draw, write, feel light codes, light language. Actually, one part of my dream the other night, it was really crazy. Well, my dreams are often very exciting and crazy, but one of the things that happened in the dream, I looked up the next day, the symbolism for it, and it actually said, I'm not going to share what it was. I think I'll share that in the extended because it's a little, but it was talking about feeling ready to speak or connect to light language. So maybe someone here is going through that right now. And look, I do think that there are people out there that maybe are not. I get what it can feel like and look like and sound like, and they say it's like a feeling, like a heart-based experience. So if you see someone doing it and you're like, this just doesn't connect with me, that's okay. Don't force it. But if it's starting to come through you, or if you're, like I said, you're starting to see it or hear it or whatever it is for you, wherever you're at, try to honor your own connection to it, because it is very feeling based. And there is like in Keylontic science they talk about, and Phil Gruber, who I really have learned so much from, he talks a lot about the connection of pre-recorded messages and light codes and light language, and how it's like these like pre-recorded messages that will come through at in divine timing. I just saw a lightning flash when I said that. And like I call it hatching, like it will hatch the message. And that's like one aspect to it. It can work with our electromagnetic fields, and depending where we are in our own energetic signature, expansion and consciousness, and etc., is how we can perceive it or express it, etc. So, the way that I speak it, perceive it, draw it, all the different things has, evolved over time. So, I just need to take a breath. So, it's one of those things where they say it's not a marathon, it's a race. No, I think I got that backwards. It's not a race, it's a marathon. I hope you know what I mean. There's no rush, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, all right. If you would like to go deeper, feel free to join me in the Patreon extended overflow, and I will link that below. But yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you do something really nice for yourself after this. And if you're just needing some extra support, feel free to reach out. And I do have a few guided meditations and activations if you're feeling called to that. You can look through my list and see if anything calls out to you. I also do personal ones, so feel free to reach out if you are looking for a more personalized experience. All right, well, thank you.